He picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
But it's, again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the Think Tank. Hope everyone's doing good this morning. We have a heat wave coming, guys. How about yous? Unreal. I just took a peek and we're looking at at least mid-30s throughout the next week or so. So I'll keep the house nice and cool. So good morning, Dandy, and good morning, Copper Horse. So what are you guys thinking about this damn case? Hey, James, what are we thinking about this damn case, guys? Like, I'm going to go through that interactive map again. So that is in the description. And I've got a few different things to kind of go through on top of that. Like, this case is so fluid. It blows my mind. Literally, I was still researching. I took a little bit of a break, chit-chatted for a little bit in Discord, got back on here and thought, oh my God. And then, looking up Sarah Boone, and the world's just a hot mess right now. So let's see. Where do we want to start this morning, eh? So I'll tell you what I am looking for is the warrant, the search warrant for the house or these vehicles, because I think it's out there. I'm just not finding it. So this here is from the Chester News. It's on Twitter. So I want to go through this with you guys. That's not going to get too much. So this is from Jennifer Coffendorfer, retired FBI, and she is quite often over on Twitter. I like to see her posting. We're Celsius. What are you guys, James? We're Celsius, and I think the U.S. is Fahrenheit. I literally got up and straight on. It's like, oh my God, these cases are driving me crazy. James and I got into a discussion about John Bonet and what's going on there. Oh my goodness, these cases. So I do have running across the bottom, Tony Bennett passed away. So he was an awesome musician, kind of at his peak in the 70s, 80s, and he was 96 years old. Wow. Good life, mister. Good life. Okay. So I was going to grab on to this for yous. Can you see that at all? I'm kind of hoping. So I don't think I can get it much bigger, even with my Shift Plus. Oh, way over here. I'm going to try it. No. Okay, so let's get into this one. So the news and reporter has obtained a search warrant that was executed in relation to the property owned in Chester County by accused New York Cheerio, Rex Heuerman. The warrant listed a dark green 2002 Chevy Avalanche as a person, place, or thing to be searched. The truck is registered to Rex's brother Craig Heuerman of Rippling Brook Drive in Chester, and was subsequently removed from the property. The warrant states that the truck is believed to have contraband or evidence or instrumentalities regarding the charge of unaliving in the first degree in New York State and second degree New York State, patronizing a person for sex in the third degree in New York State, and conspiracy to commit said offenses. So, does this mean they're going after Craig? Are they going after Craig? Okay, so let's see here. The vehicle, once obtained, was transported to the Suffolk County, New York, and searched forensically. Authorities began surveillance of the Rippling Brook Drive location at 10:50 p.m. on July 13th, shortly after his brother was arrested in New York City. And the warrant said authorities knew the vehicle was present at that location, with state and federal authorities aiding the Chester County Sheriff's Office in taking custody of it. The truck is listed as having been taken into custody. Under property sought on the warrant, authorities put a lengthy list of items, many of which are listed as trophies. Ooh boy. Which are personal items belonging to an unaliving victim that was to include their phones, articles of clothing, jewelry, identification, notebooks, ledgers, Bibles, personal effects, and or photographs or recordings depicting the victims. Also sought were forensic and or trace evidence, including DNA, obtainable through fingernails, toenails, animal hair or fur, human hair and human skin fibers, bodily fluids, as well as any latent fingerprints or palm prints. These things can be found on furniture, mattresses, carpets, rugs, flooring, animal cages, crates, litters, playpans, beds, towers, steps or clothing, electronic devices or computers in all their forms are listed on the warrant, along with any records, whether it be physical or electronic in nature. Other properties sought in any documents relating to the recent occupation. I'm sorry, I'm twisting over my tongue again. Renting, Tennessee. Okay, you guys know what I'm trying to get out of my face here. So, purchasing of known instrumentalities. Yeah, I can say that. Utilized in designated offenses. Good Lord. Yeah, I can say that. Tenancy. Thank you. Renting. Thank you. Purchasing. Thank you. Oh my God. So this could include mail, bills, or other similarly situated documents. Broadly, the warrant also mentions any of the known instrumentalities involved in the commission of the designated offenses, including burlap, that remains of at least one of Heuerman's alleged victims was discovered wrapped in burlap. They're saying burlap, or like a camouflage burlap for hunting. Jute-like fabric, hunting blinds, restraints, belts, textile, oh my God, textile yarns, polyester fibers, cotton fibers, on or any variety of tape. Other trophy items are listed separately, including condoms, cut distal ends of black leather belts, devices utilized to stamp letters onto leather goods, knives, scissors, cutting implements, and bounty paper towels. Specifically, the Mountain Modern print collection. Isn't that interesting? Firearms, magazines, cases, ammunition, bullet fragments, shell casings were all listed. Locked rooms, storage areas, vaults, cabinets, safes, closets, containers, including strong boxes, desks, drawers, suitcases, briefcases, boxes, hidden compartments, or other such enclosures were items that can be kept hidden or secreted. And the warrant was signed Friday. Oh my God. Whoa. That was a mouthful, friends. That was a mouthful. Oh, it's not what I wanted to do now, is it? Pin. Join me in Twitter as I try to get off the platform. Okay. So I think now that we've got kind of a look at that. Oh, is that right, Shauna? One of the girls in, is it called Mandeville, was found in burlap as well. Okay, Celsius, Fahrenheit. Yes, she did. Rose West. Another interesting little individual out there, eh? Glad to have you, Shauna. Always, always, even if it's only for a minute. I find that really interesting. Okay, so what have I got that I think you might want to look at next? Yeah, I couldn't find that damn search warrant. Let's take a look at this. La-di-da-da. La-di-da-da. Oh, is that right? Jessica Taylor. I think I have something on her, friends. Her friend, I'm going to have to take a look. Brutal. So, Gilgo Beach suspect being investigated over similar New Jersey unalivings of workers and in Atlantic City. So we know we had a place in Vegas. What do we got going here? Let's take a look. Look at all that paperwork. Oh, come on, dudes. Let's go. Look at all that paper. Whoa. Unreal. I don't want you guys looking. Put our tarp up. We can still see. Look at all that paperwork. Oh, they're digging deep. It's good. Unreal, guys. Where's this song coming from? No. What a girl. That was like a little bit of J-Lo happening in that ear. Oh, isn't that something, that clip, Shauna? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, in order for him to play hide and seek the way she does, one of y'all would have to put him in that damn suitcase. Oh, my word. The people in this world. Okay, so let me have a sip here. See if I can get my tongue moving properly. So, suspected Long Island unaliver Rex Heuerman is also being investigated over series of similar unsolved slayings of workers around the Atlantic City by a person dubbed the Black Horse Pike. That. Detectives had already been looking at possibility of possible ties between the Gilgo Beach unalivings and New Jersey's Black Horse Pike Cheerio, even before the 59-year-old architect's arrest last week. And this is coming from the Suffolk Police Commissioner Rodney Harrison. Although it initially suggested there was not a connection, the commissioner said, we want to revisit that investigation. It makes it at least the fourth state where the ogre-looking Heuerman is being eyed in connection to unsolved crimes. His DNA is already being used to search a database of cold cases across New York and investigations. Is it only across New York? And investigations have already been launched. Okay, South Carolina and in Nevada. So this database where his DNA didn't go through the whole country? Is that how you guys understand that? How do you expect to catch the bad guy when you don't give it your all? Shame on us if we don't look into Las Vegas, South Carolina, and even Atlantic City, Harrison told the outlet. And check everywhere. We've got to make sure if anyone has information. That's fair, but I mean, what are you guys thinking of that? I don't know what I think of that. Just those few spots? I worked in AC for 20 years, RN crisis and outreach worker. I know how Black Horse Pike well. A highway strip with cheap motels. Oh, is it? De-infestation, homeless people, workers. I was there. Oh my goodness. Is that what that is? I didn't know what the Black Horse Pike was, to be honest with you. Wow. And good on you for the crisis and outreach working. I applaud you for that, friend. So the strip was desolate with waterways where they were found. So does that mean it kind of similar to where the Gilgo 4 have been located? Because that to me seems very barren in a lot of spots. So if you know that case well, friend, what do you think? Does Rex fit that profile? Okay. Okay. Wow. This world, man. So it was also dubbed Eastbound because all four victims, Kim Raffo, 35, Tracy Ann Roberts, 23, Barbara Bridor, I hope I'm saying that right, 42, Molly Diltz, 20, all found lying face down with their heads pointed east towards the city's casino high-rises. Wow, rest in peace, young ladies. It's a strange case, local gas station manager Gigi Henning said this week. They were dumped close to the Bay Drive Motel, whose owner, Dan, immediately thought of the 2006 crimes when they broke a week ago of Heuerman's arrest for the Gilgo beach slayings. They were strange circumstances with this current case as well as what happened back then, without elaborating. So they are still investigating the 2006 homicides. Since this remains an open investigation, we cannot comment further due to its potential and compromise the investigation, a spokeswoman said, adding, "We have no comment on the Gilgo Beach investigation." Heuerman pled guilty last Friday for... No, he didn't. Did he change his plea? Did he change his plea? No. Really? Have you guys heard of that? Have you guys heard of this? That it is possibly a possibility that he pled guilty? I'm going to look it up for a second here. Everything says not guilty still. So it could just be a typo. Okay. Might just be a typo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing any information like that. Oh. Zip! I know what you guys are talking about. I'll play hide and seek. I'll seek. Okay, where is it? That's what this one here, maybe. Are there others? Very good question, right? So, Lindsay Harris, Jessica Foster, which is who you were just bringing up, right, friend? So, there could be more victims in a string of slayings of Las Vegas Valley girls whose taken apart bodies were found along highways, a Las Vegas police detective says Friday. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think of all this stuff, guys. Like, what the hell is this going... Is this going to blow up? Like, are all these cities going to have Rex as a guest during these times or as a resident? I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable seeing all of this. Let's see here. Damn you, Rex. Detective Larry Hanna implored law enforcement authorities in other jurisdictions to check for similar cases to those of 4 young women with ties to Las Vegas. The body parts of 3 of the women have been found off of highways in Las Vegas, California, and Illinois, and a 4th woman who matches the description of the others is missing. Hannah said the women could have been slain by the same person, possibly a trunk driver, because of the proximity of the women to major highways. You know, that is usually what comes to mind when I start hearing of cases that are literally spread out like this. I always get back to those truck drivers because they are so hard to locate. It's getting better now. A lot of companies are making them have GPS, and they're putting all sorts of different ways to be able to track these trucks. Watch how much fuel they're using, see how many times they stop. It's just amazing the amount of information they can get. So it's getting harder, but it's automatically where my head goes. The discovery of other cases could produce leads into the case of these women, Hannah said. Investigators have ruled out as suspects the women's boyfriends who doubled as pimps and have had previous few leads to pursue. No suspects have been named, and the truck driver as a Cheerio remains a theory. It may not be a truck driver, who knows, Hannah said. It's someone who travels the roads. The young women ages 19 to 25 and working as valley girls disappeared between 2003 and 2006. Isn't that kind of interesting how these time frames kind of hook in together? Authorities investigating their cases are going down a well-worn path of investigations into Cheerio truck drivers, according to James Allen Fox, a professor at Northeastern University in Boston, who has written several books on the Cheerios, including 2005 Extreme Unaliving, Understanding Cheerios, and it doesn't even sound like English. Extreme Unaliving, Understanding Cheerios, and Unaliving, Mass Unalivings? Like, okay. As you wish, YouTube, as you wish. Fox says there isn't anything in particular about the truck drivers that would make them serial unalivers. They're just tougher to catch and have access to the ladies, runaways, and hitchhikers. Their mobility aids them in evading apprehension. Plus, the places where they travel, highways, truck stops, give them easy access to targets. The cases of truck driver unaliving these girls are among the most difficult to solve, he said. Police rarely have crime scenes. They have dump sites. The list of potential suspects, which would include Johns, is extensive. Witnesses to the crimes, which could include other ladies, are usually unwilling to talk to the police. There are so many of these ladies' slayings that have been unsolved. Pick a state. Oh, scary shit. Imagine if it was your child out there doing this. Oh, man. Mortifying. Yeah. Oh, really, Shauna? Asian male was a foreign exchange student, and his name would have been Mo Zhang. Mo Zhang. Wonder if they're going to look for DNA for him. So we've got Jessica Taylor now, and she was the other one that was in burlap or in the duck hunting material, right? So then we've got this guy and numerous ones in other states. What do you guys think about? Does it sound like to you that they have not sent that DNA throughout the U.S.? Is that the way it's sounding to you? I could be wrong. Wake up, Mexi. Oh, these cases, like they are seeming extremely similar. He's been, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Are they not in a national database? Are they just putting him in some of the state? Oh, there's my girl. There's my girl. There you are. There's my girl. Yeah, if I was to have a daughter, she would have been it. Oh, does it? So does that make you think that it's probably going through there? It's just hasn't hit all the different states yet? I thought it would be like a push of a button. Shows what I know. Wakey, wakey. Yeah. So I want to take a look at this one. Where are you? Come back here. So I'm missing Batman. So let's take a look here. South Carolina police investigating Gilgo murders. Unaliving suspect for ties to a missing teen. So guys, if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and share. So, and Aliyah Bell, 18, vanished in Rock Hill, South Carolina in 2004.
Here in this.
And the search for more possible victims linked to the suspected Gilgo Beach serial killer is expanding. Authorities are now investigating a potential connection to Atlantic City. Senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky has the latest on that.
The investigation into alleged Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuerman is expanding to a fourth state as authorities probe whether he had ties to Atlantic City, New Jersey, and a string of unsolved killings of women who worked as prostitutes. Sheriff's deputies are also interviewing incarcerated sex workers about their interactions with the suspect.
He had reached out to them for sex. They took the calls but did not meet with him.
And now, a week after Heuerman's arrest on charges he killed 3 young women who worked as escorts, his wife of more than 25 years filing for divorce. Seen here in this FoxNews.com photo Wednesday. The docket says it will be uncontested. This as investigators search 4 vacant lots Heuerman owns in South Carolina, looking for what court records call trophies, personal items that may have belonged to the victims.
Bad.
They're also scouring a green Chevrolet Avalanche that was seized there, looking for clues. Dominic Cancelleri lived next door to Heuerman on Long Island for nearly 20 years.
I really avoided him at all costs. You know, I really didn't want any contact with him or anything like that.
And Aaron Katersky joins me now with more on this case. Aaron, it's only been a week since the suspect's arrest, and already investigators have expanded this search to multiple states. How unusual is that, and what's the latest?
Well, they want to find every location they can, Diane, because they want to be able to solidify the cases they've charged him with. Those are the 3 women. They have a 4th where he's a prime suspect and 6 more bodies. So they'd like to tie him to as many victims as possible if, in fact, the evidence...
So does that mean that all the rest of this area that's not colored is not running him through their database? Is that kind of how it's looking?
Plays out. So they are going, as prosecutors say, inch by inch through every location in South Carolina where he owned vacant lots and where they seized that all-important green Chevrolet Avalanche. In Nevada, where he had a timeshare, and police say they're going through cold case files to see if Heuerman may have had any involvement. Now Atlantic City, where in 2006 there was a string of killings of 4 women who were working as prostitutes. There's no known...
So sounding very, very much like this case. And have you guys noticed how one is almost like bumping into the next as far as timelines?
connection to Gilgo Beach, but authorities want to probe to find out more.
Now, what kind of interviews are being conducted at this point, and what evidence are they trying to use to potentially link him to other cases? Is there anything concrete they're looking for?
Well, they want to find, as they call them, trophies. That would be if he kept anything that belonged to the victims. Was there an earring or a necklace, you know, a piece of jewelry, a piece of clothing, anything that they can find? That's part of the reason they're tearing that house in Massapequa Park where he lived apart. And
that place is down to, I don't know, scraps. They have gone through that, like I said before, with a fine-tooth comb. Man, they're probably even checking inside the walls, inside, as they should, because he's been a slippery mofo, hasn't he?
And they want to make sure that they're thorough, but they're maybe more importantly looking for every scrap of forensic evidence. So everything that's there is being swabbed, for, blood, hair, whatever, for DNA to see what matches they can get. And the interviews include the family, which they say did not know. In fact, the police commissioner told us that the stepson, daughter, and wife were disgusted and embarrassed when they found out what Heuerman was accused of doing.
So disgusted and embarrassed still is not the same as mortified or disbelief because you love your dad, husband. None of this stuff is coming out. They're horrified, mortified, and she filed for divorce.
And then they're interviewing these sex workers. That's been something that's now ongoing to see what contact they may have had with Heuerman, and they've already found that 2 of the women had voicemail messages from him.
Wow. So when can we expect to see the suspect in court?
Not till August 1st. That's his next court date. His attorney has said that he may file a bail application, but he's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. There's very unlikely that he's going to be released on bail. And from here, it's just a matter of getting his prosecution going. A trial could be, a year and a half
You can be Batman and he can be Rex Luthor.
away. Prosecutors are also looking to see if they can formally charge him with the death of a 4th woman, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, whose body was found also wrapped in burlap, also on Gilgo Beach, within a quarter mile of the other 3.
All right. Aaron Couture's.
Mortifying. "18-year-old Aliyah Bell vanished in Rock Hill, about 20 miles from the vacant lots associated with Heuerman that police have been searching in connection with the Gilgo Beach." Wow. Come on, go away now. Shoo. Shoo, I say. Our investigators have been reviewing any information to see if there is a correlation between the disappearance of Aliyah Bell and Rex Heuerman, Rock Hill Lieutenant Michael Chev said in an email to ABC News. So far, there is no indication that leads us to identify Heuerman as a suspect in this case, but we will continue to investigate Bell's disappearance and follow up on all leads. Okay, so let's see here. Seven consecutive days they've been searching that house. And it's expected to last at least another 3 days. They're coming to get you, mister. They're coming, you evil little prick. Sorry. I'm not liking him. Oh. Batgirl. Oh my God. So that'll be 10 days of scouring that gross place. So we do know that Maureen Brainerd Barnes has still not been officially tied to the other 3, but that he is still the prime suspect. Defense attorney Michael Brown entered a not guilty plea on Heuerman's behalf in his arraignment on Friday on 3 counts of first degree and 3 counts of second. Brown told ABC News this week that the state has amassed circumstantial evidence against his client and there were no eyewitnesses. When are there usually eyewitnesses to this type of thing that are going to come out and speak? They're either involved. There's very seldom just someone who, like, what, are you going to follow him home and take pictures? Have coffee? I don't know. Like, when is there really great witnesses in cases like this. I can't come up with one. Let's check this one out, guys. Na 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 na. It goes na 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 na. The bat signal. Okay, let's get back at this. Okay. Gilgo Beach Cheerio suspect's next door neighbor of 15 years claimed that he heard Rex Heuerman digging in the backyard in the early hours of the morning, smelled him burning trash every few weeks, and trawling through the garden. Dominic Cancelleri, who lived next to Heuerman for 15 years, said he heard him digging in the garden at early hours. He said he was a weirdo and that this arrest makes sense to him. Another neighbor told Daily Mail in the description how Heuerman once warned him never to come onto his property. Oh, lordy, lordy. Next door neighbor of Gilgo Beach Cheerio suspect has claimed he heard Rex Heuerman digging in his backyard. Okay. The neighbor's eerie claim, alongside recollections of a pattern of odd behavior such as burning garbage, comes after police said at least one woman was unalived in his home. That's just, in my mind, absolutely, due to the fact that there was stuff from his home, like his wife's hair, and I imagine much more. On anything that's lifted. Okay. Dominic Cancelleri, he says, when I was about 18 or 19 years old, I was watching TV in my basement. I went outside at about 1 or 2 in the morning and heard digging in the backyard next door. Look at how compact that is. Unreal. No News Nation. He's just butt ugly. No wonder he had to pay for stuff. I'd walk out even if I was in the biz. I don't know if my chat's working. Yeah, there we go. It is. That sounds about right. He was another mean SOB. The neighbor of Peter Tobin, he's a UK Cheerio, saw him digging holes in the garden. He claimed it was a sandpit for his child, but no sandpit was ever built. They found remains there 25 years later. And that guy was just foul. I mean, I guess you don't expect them to have the best personalities, but that guy, I mean, he's kicking at cameraman and just, yeah. Melissa Barthélemy from New York, 24, was discovered by Suffolk County Police on December 11th, 2010. Megan Waterman, 22, from Maine. Maureen Brainard Barnes, 25 years old when she went missing. Amber Lynn Costello was 27 years old when she disappeared. Look Get those skates. And then, yeah, they had, from what I've heard anyways, they had the coroner show up at one of those storage units. Not normal. Not what they usually do. So what the hell is in there, hey? We've kind of gone through that already, so we won't. Don't have to look at that. We've gone through. And we've gone through. So I think what we'll do... Hey, Shauna, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Just adore you guys. Let's take a look. So we started looking at this last night when we were streaming. So let's take another look. These guys are in the description, and it'll give you all the information to this book and how to purchase it and all sorts of things. All sorts of good stuff. So this one here basically is the one that we were looking at to get a little bit more information as to who was where. So this here is going to be Ocean Parkway. And this is basically where the majority of people were found. There's a couple that they're looking at outside of this area to also possibly be involved, but they're not sure yet. So we'll have to wait on that. So right down here, unidentified human bones found in April 11th, 2011. I bet you I don't have you hooked in. I don't. How about that? Does that help? Yeah. So we'll take a look at that. We were looking at it last night a little bit, and we ended up stopping because we were already on, I think, our second hour. Saved it for today. Okay, so I'm going to start down here. And this is all, like I say, this is all Ocean Parkway. Different little, some of them call themselves associations, little towns or villages. I don't know what they would call them. The only thing I've seen is association, which isn't too weird at all. Okay, so right there. Just 1.5 miles from Jones Beach, police found human bones in a plastic bag. The head, hands, and right foot were determined to be that of a Jane Doe, the same Jane Doe linked to a female torso discovered in Manorville in 2000. So that's going to be along with another set of remains found on February 17th, 2012. These remains were found in a pine barrens of Manorville, a short distance from where 2 of the Gilgo beach victims' parts had been found years earlier. Each set of remains had been left in 2 distinct areas, both remote and densely wooded. The perfect spot for disposal. So, female... Oh, it comes up so easily. Come on. I say no. I say no. Female torso. Okay. This Jane Doe was found nude, in pieces, and wrapped in plastic bags in 2000 by hikers off Halsey Manor Road in Manorville. Her head, hands, and legs were cut off. She was between 18 and 40 years old, around 5 feet 2 inches tall, and white with brown hair. Police believe she was a worker. Her heads, hands, and leg were found on 2011 on Ocean Parkway in plastic bags about 1.5 miles east of Jessica Taylor. Okay, so we've got... Are they going to show us? Yes. Unidentified skull. Found April 11th, 2011. The skull, most likely a woman's, was located 4 hours after another set of remains in a wildlife sanctuary west of Toby Beach, Long Island. The head was later discovered to be from the same victim as a pair of severed legs discovered in black plastic bag in April 1996 along Blue Point Beach on the bay side of Fire Island, about a mile west of Davis Park. Her torso and hands remain missing. She's believed to be Caucasian, between 18 and 50 years old, and had surgery on her left ankle. Okay. Amber Lynn Costello. How are you guys doing over there? I'm going to pop in for a second and see how you all doing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Shauna. Yeah, other than the Cheerios, that is. Okay, let's see. Amber felt entitled to everything of Kim's. Her clothes, her perfume, anything sitting around her room. Kim would tell her she couldn't, and Amber would act like Kim hadn't said a thing. Their lives were symbiotic. What was Kim's, Amber always thought, was rightfully hers. Amber Lynn Costello grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina, where she followed Kim as an employee of an employee of a local escort service. Lost Girls traces Amber's journey from Wilmington to a devout Christian life in Clearwater, Florida, and finally to Long Island, where she became the most recent verified victim, last seen September 2nd, 2010. In Lost Girls, Kim offers firsthand insight into the world of escorting, its attractions and its risks, and her tempestuous relationship with her sister. So Melissa Bartholomew wasn't acting like herself. Something was bothering her. She was not happy. She lay down on the couch, resting her head against Jeff, and he tried again. Come home, he said. His sister-in-law ran a cosmetology school. He could get her a job there. Not yet, Melissa said. I'm almost ready, though. So Melissa Bartholomew graduated high school and earned a certificate from beauty school in Buffalo, New York. Worked briefly in the area before heading to New York with a friend. Her family learned later that she had become an escort, first on the streets with a pimp and then later on Craigslist. She was later seen leaving her apartment in the Bronx on July 12, 2009. So Lost Girls features the first ever detailed look at Melissa's life in New York. Readers will meet a close friend with whom she worked late at night in Times Square, and her boyfriend, who police believe was her pimp. Through Melissa's family in Buffalo, readers will also learn of the world she left behind and of the strange phone calls Melissa's sister received from the man police believed to be her unaliver. So Maureen Brainerd Barnes, found December 13th, 2010. Maureen felt somehow anointed and touch with things that others couldn't see. Maureen believed that the answers to most of life's mysteries were attainable to anyone who sought them out. She told her sister and brother about what she had read and learned, lecturing and making connections right before their eyes. Sometimes they believed too. Maureen Brainard Barnes grew up in the industrial port town of Groton, Connecticut. She and her sister Missy and brother Will were inseparable, taking care of one another while their mother worked. She was last seen in Manhattan, July 9th, 2007. She left behind a daughter and a son to take trips to New York to support them. In the book Lost Girls, a close friend who traveled and worked alongside Maureen provides unique insight into Maureen's life as an escort, the circumstances surrounding her final trip to New York, and why she decided to stay behind herself when her traveling companions all went home. This sounds like a very good book, very detailed. I'll probably get it. Megan Waterman, found December 13th, 2010. The staff of the roller rink, and this was something that kind of jumped out to Mexi and I yesterday, is they were loading those roller skates into the back of that truck. I mean, I imagine his daughter may have roller skated as well, but... So, the staff at the roller rink marveled at the way Megan could pivot from rage to charm in an instant, working her deep brown eyes to make anyone forgive what she had done. And they always thought fondly of her Nana, Muriel, who stood out from all the other parents in how passionately she defended Megan on charges of misbehavior, appealing any ejection while standing right by her, acting like her chief counsel. Good for her Nana, everyone thought, for going the extra mile for her granddaughter. If only more families would do that, right? Megan Waterman's mother, Lorraine, lost custody of her when she was a baby, and her grandmother, Muriel, raised her, creating an estrangement that formed the backdrop of an entire childhood. The birth of her own daughter brought a new chance for Megan to reconnect with her mother, but not long after the baby was born, Megan met Vibe, a dealer from New York who some say became Megan's pimp. She was seen leaving a Holiday Inn in Hopeg, Long Island, late on the night of June 6, 2010. In Lost Girls, Megan's mother, grandmother, brother, and friends all provide insight into Megan's relationship with Vibe and how he might have played in her disappearance. Wow. So this one's interesting too. John Doe. Oh, that's one for the coffee cups. Sweatshirts, whatever. Stay safe out there. Get a boob job. Yes. Tiny little QR codes on them. Everything has to have a sort of identifier for when it fails. Absolutely. They know who to point the finger at. Or bad batches. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Stay safe out there. Get a boob job. So, this is John Doe, the Asian male, found April 4th, 2011. There's a lot being said about this fellow here. I'd love to learn more about him. I'm hoping somehow, I don't know if there's any way to get DNA at this point or earlier even. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to... Someone was telling me earlier that they think maybe he was a foreign exchange student. Now, I think that was... Wasn't that you, Shauna? They're saying that possibly that's what's going on here. Na 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 na. I'm looking for the name. Mo Zhang. Possibly a fellow named Mo Zhang. Wouldn't that be nice if they could identify him? Okay, let's take a look at Mo. No, we'll call him the Asian male right now, because if I do that, I'll mess myself up. So he was found a quarter mile from where Megan, Maureen, Amber, and Melissa were found. This man is believed to have been unalive for at least 5 years. April 4th, so okay. About 5 feet 6 inches tall, missing several teeth for some time before he was unalived. So this man was also found wearing women's clothing. In Lost Girls, police sources suggest the man was just like Megan, Maureen, and Melissa and Amber. So it kind of makes you wonder, was he mistaken for a woman? Was this some form of hate crime? There's a lot that could be happening with this case, this particular case. But you would think that, being the fact that he was found in female clothes, that he might be a little bit more identifiable on some of these strips. Show them what clothes he was wearing. So this is skull, hands, forearms of Jessica Taylor in Manorville were found on March 29th, 2011. Jessica Taylor was a 20-year-old. Where do I get some of these names, numbers out of my brain? Just plop them in there. Jessica Taylor was a 24-year-old escort who was last seen working the streets of Manhattan near the Port Authority bus terminal in 2003, 4 years before the first disappearance chronicled in Lost Girls. Estranged from her family, Taylor had an arrest record in Atlantic City, New York, Washington, D.C. So her naked torso was found in Manorville, Pine Barrens, on a plastic sheet a month after she disappeared, with her head and hands cut off. The tattoo on her hip was carved with dozens of gashes, which a detective in Washington, D.C. recognized from a previous arrest. Taylor's case went cold until 2011, when her skull, hands, and forearm were found on Ocean Parkway, just east of where the bodies of Megan, Maureen, Melissa, and Amber were found. So that means up here, Jessica Taylor was a 20-year-old. Let's see here. Okay, same information, but in reverse. One part was found in Manorville, outside of Manorville, and the other one on Gilgo Beach. And then we've gone through this because it was also identified to be linked up here as well. So what the hell's going on in Manorville? So then they found the remains on April 4th, 2011, of a little girl believed to be between 16 to 32 months old. They were found wrapped in a blanket east of Cedar Beach Park. Police said the body displayed no signs of trauma. She was later connected by DNA to woman's remains discovered 7 miles to the west. Let's see, a mile and a half from Jones Beef. Frick, guys. Jones Beach. Oh, man. So I am not sure how long it would take to get to Manorville. I don't know what's going on in Manorville, but it does seem like there is something somehow associated with what's been going on in on Ocean Parkway. Just insane. So the rest of this is basically about the author. Like I say, the link is in my description. Oh, is there problems with something going on with YouTube, guys? Yeah. Do you know what? I don't even know about how to do that at this point. So, guys, I think that's probably where I'm going to stop for now. We've covered pretty much everything that I've seen that has come out that is new, may affect the case, any information, anything else that comes out as well. I'm going to be on it. This case has kind of got me. And, you know, I'm still working on Koberger. I'm still working on Richard Allen. There's been, I don't know what's going on as far as, There's just a couple other cases that have been moving a little bit, and I'm not sure if it's anything. Make sure turn on accept gifts. Do I do that or do you, Dandy? I'll need a gift. You guys are my gift. Do it individually. Okay. 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 Do it individually. Okay. Yes, it sure is. Yes, it sure is. I haven't checked it yet, but I'm headed that way in a few minutes, my friend. Okay, guys. Well, thanks again. As always, it's been a pleasure. I look forward to, I might come on again later. We'll see. I want to see what else is coming out here. So I might do an update on a couple of the other cases that we're looking at. And I'll do my hair. Okay, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.